Growing Block Universe, Part 1. This is the Panhandle. Like powers of 10, zoom out from the starting point and rack back in when the time comes. 6 years or so since the last showing, and it's all cerebral now, approached like an archaeology dig. In town only to re-examine some evidence with better lighting. Conservative missions, oil piers, orchard gardens, SOARSs, rum runners, shared trashy white culture of the hill people and their flatlander labor pool, Chumash lands. Literate invaders always go underappreciated. Hostility is the shopkeeper's bell. But hey, someone's got to man the ledger, right? Less and less of a lot goes into these trips, with more and more of a little going acknowledged. The only finite resource in life is time, a finding perspective agent capable of clarifying any moment with anyone. The door opens up to Seaside Park, whose front lot is cluttered with roadshow gear, ATA cases pointing in all directions. Circus tents list suspensefully in Doppler ambiguousness. Momentary tableau focus activates a few roadies, the same way red ants pop into view on a sandy beach with a good stare. Is this Ozfest? A disembarker behind snarks out as a small file of us gumbies onto the platform. A styrofoam impression this. Overcast sky and dirty pelicans hanging around like the last two people at a party. Driftwood strained from waves by shore. Every tic-tac-toe square foot waterlogged with the whitewash of a bashful past. You never return to the same place twice, or see the same place the same way twice if you return properly. You guys loading in or out? In, lilted the carny, straightening out her tech neck. Far from her home was the immediate deduction. Opening tomorrow night? It was Thursday. That's right, she smiled. Well, KBO then. How's that then? Her brow furrowed a touch. The farewell smile kept the stride unbroken. Circus would have been a good birthday plan if only tonight's party had been arranged with the slightest bit of effort. Not worth the Twilight. Mission control, though. The approaching promenade doesn't feel de facto open, and most of the pier is fenced off. The host at Eric Erickson's completed the inquiry with a small sense of concern. Out of service since February is the word. Longest wooden pier in all of California, was the running proclamation. Many a not presently qualified that boast, after the perennial storm chewed up or down the coast, nipping off the forward section like a triggerfish does a crab's leg. Cogent questions usually elicit tension in small and medium-sized towns, but a neutral thank you was given, followed by civil salutations. 6.5 hours here is about how long the fuse runs at these speeds. Up California Street past Bombay's, the downtown parking garage, showbox of too many clunky brawls to recall in a single moment of walking, and City Hall of Two Jakes fame. Memories are as flat as a karaoke penguin's falsetto. The landscape was saturated, monadic deep into adolescence. So much blank ocean to the left, astrological hills to the right, forfeiting an enfilade strip of land to stuff the entire universe into. Between Scylla and the deep blue Charybdis, people behaving poorly throughout, snapshots of which decomposing miasmically with the passage of time. Wild West ethics revving around in cars instead of on horses. Over the hills the wildcats loomed. The ocean whistled abyss. Downtown Main Street was converted to pedestrians only. Martial barricades announcing this at the First Street intersection. Surely Judas and Brutus held the door open for others from time to time. The baseball diamond at Lincoln School was built over. Classroom bungalows in the field. Administrators there had had enough of mud football, apparently. Vacuous, the human frequency this, having conceded the middle ground to their motor's superior emissions. Cresting the hill at Cemetery Park, pausing for a 360 panorama, pondering to the 3,000 interred. Did your descendants get it right? If they're still here, that is. For some, land isn't enough and they move on. Dry Spanish stucco elicits a near olfactory parch, packed with blood and clots, wine and drugs, tears and snot, long fingernails raking across dry skin, kicking up a desert fire of chalky wake sylph. Mission scars stretched out through adulthood with the accumulation of emotional muscle. Bootleggers trailed out this town from pier to upriver. The chronological architecture procession on Main Street is frieze documentation. Spaniard tiles and adobe give way to chopped-up bungalows, and then to dingbats with soft stories cropping up east of Cabrillo Middle School. Roads and lots, stables and corrals, reconstituted stone and bitumen, pitch and jet, lime and aggregate, desiccant grid holes, sand trapping the precious packet of squish we all wake up with. Horror clowns hide in the storm drains, subsisting off progress report cards from shameful 7th graders. Come to think of it, it should be around here somewhere, most certainly somewhere up Lincoln Hill. The sidewalk narrows, foreshortening the acclivity. Counting steps is too arduous, so one bails into the middle of the drive, just like the 12-year-old versions of ourselves did for school, to and fro, against the grade both ways, thank you very much. The residents of this stretch wouldn't have it any other way. The febrile German shepherd absorbed a 2-seam dirt clod once, attempting to enforce their master's enclosure policy. The hill people of this town guard their vistas with simian jealousy, hierophantically. The second most expensive place to live in the country, the off-relayed apocrypha, like the peer statistic to which the Mark Twain aphorism can now be applied, with cozy pleasure. It all looks the same, save for a pretentious palm tree planter in the driveway, and a couple smaller ones by the entrance. Skateboarding kids would have had a hard time avoiding these as they practiced on their launch ramp and rail slider before the OVS bus collected them across the street at Presbyterian Church, the raw materials of which their dad repurposed from old furniture. The Beach Boys sang Kokomo as a consolation. Bags of avocados they picked from their great-grandmother's backyard sold at the traffic triangle just opposite. So surprised they were at how quickly they sold out at $3 for $1. It quietly sits there, smugly, a cargo vessel of another family story. Can't help but wonder how it looks on the inside, after all these years.